Thanks for tuning in to Suki Says. If you are just joining us, then you are right in time for the lovely Adrienne Wilkinson. You may know her from Xena Warrior Princess, or if you are a gamer, you may know her voice from the Star Wars Force Unleashed series. Adrienne, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be on your show. Thanks so much.
Oh, no problem. What were some of your favorite things about working on Xena? I know that's what a lot of people would know you from immediately.
Oh gosh, the list is sort of endless. Xena was probably the best adventure of my life. It shot in New Zealand. It had just the most amazing cast and crew. So you're working in these spectacular locations, in these handmade costumes, doing these epic battle scenes or these epic emotional scenes, and yet you're surrounded by, these amazing people. I mean, the majority of them I'm still friends with to this day, and it really was just it's one of those experiences I'll be ever grateful for. I just absolutely loved everything about it.
You got pretty brutal. Was it hard to train for some of those battles?
I would love to say it was incredibly difficult, but while we did train every day, every one of us had a stunt double. So some of the most difficult things that you see could possibly have been the doubles, or at least the doubles also did them. So they could choose between which version was the best and make sure that we looked as good as we possibly could.
Oh, you looked awesome. Do you ever watch any of the episodes?
I did. I am one of those people that absolutely hates to watch their own work. I find it very disconcerting, and I'm, my own worst critic. But of course, I have seen the episodes, and I'm really, really proud of the work that all of us did. Every week, I was just astounded at the finished result. I mean, part of it was because, it's all the details of just where we're shooting and how beautiful it was. But it was just a combination. I mean, when you're in it, it's hard to sometimes even exactly fathom the finished product, because everything that you're doing is, some people find this so difficult that, an hour-long television show is basically really 44 minutes of footage. And yet, on Xena, that was an 8-day schedule. So it took us 8 days to get those 44 minutes, which seems crazy, but every one of those episodes was, we hit the target by just a hair. Every day you're shooting these just massively long hours and these incredibly physically challenging things. It's kind of amazing how much work goes into it, but then you see it on screen and it just, it thrills you. You just can't even imagine that that's what you were doing, because it has come out so much better than you expected. So yeah, it was a blessing that way.
Now, was it daunting playing Lucy Lawless's daughter?
Oh, definitely. But the most daunting thing about it is that when I was initially hired, I had absolutely no idea that's what I was doing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the auditions were very top secret. I auditioned for the project a couple of times. They actually had offered it to me, or they offered me callbacks, and my schedule was so tight that I couldn't do it. And all that I knew is that the role was to play the nemesis of Lucy Lawless. It was to play her enemy. And I actually thought that I didn't have much of a chance, because I personally thought that she and I looked quite similar. So I really kind of thought, general casting is that they cast opposites, so it would make sense that they would cast a blonde or a redhead to play her nemesis. And they kept calling me back, and even when I couldn't come back to the meetings, they ended up not finding anyone, and the casting went on a couple of weeks longer than they intended. And eventually I was able to come back in, and that's when I was hired. But it wasn't until after I had received the scripts and I was actually on my way to New Zealand reading them that I realized I was playing Lucy's daughter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was probably a good thing, because it didn't allow you to get nervous about it, and it didn't allow you to try to mimic her too much. It was, I was able to bring myself to it and not focus on that so much. So we ended up having some obvious similarities. I definitely incorporated certain things of hers, but at the same time, it wasn't a performance that had any mimicry in it, if you know what I mean. I think it sort of stood on its own feet.
I agree. You've been keeping busy since The Warrior Princess, and you've gotten into a lot of voiceover work. How did that come about? I just sort of stumbled into it, and you're right. I hadn't done any voiceover work till probably, I guess it's around 2005 or something. And I had an agent that asked me if I would be willing to try it, and I decided to give it a go, and it turned out to be a good fit. I had always been a little wary of voiceover work, because I thought that you had to have this massive roster of character voices. And while I've done
I've probably done more than 50 characters at this point, but I only do a couple of sort of character-y voices. More than that, it's just I do different types of regular people. So it's, various types of women of all ages and backgrounds and things that I sort of specialize in. And fortunately, in our market today, especially with video games, that's what they're looking for so much of.
Now, are you a Star Wars fan or a video gamer?
I'm the world's worst gamer. I'm absolutely terrible. I don't mind gaming. I actually kind of enjoy it, but I'm sure I drive everybody else crazy around me because I'm just not a challenge for them. And I love to play for the sake of play, but I have absolutely no competitive nature when it comes to video gaming.
Well, that's good.
So I want to go explore while they're wanting to, make it to the next level. So yeah, I'm sort of the world's worst gamer. I am a Star Wars fan. But yeah, I had no idea exactly what I was getting into. I mean, it's really opened up a whole new world of fans and a new world of, just sort of a new universe to be part of. And it's been, oh my God, it's been so much fun to be part of the Star Wars universe.
Awesome. Now tell me a little bit about Venice, the series.
Venice is a web soap. We've done 3 seasons at this point. The 4th season will shoot later this year. It was initially a spinoff of a soap opera that was on the air, one of the long-running soap operas that has since gone off the air, but after 50-some years. And it was sort of a take on one of the popular storylines on that soap. Most of the cast are soap opera stars from a whole host of different soap operas. And we sort of do this crazy shooting schedule, usually once a year. We shoot this massive amount of material in just a few days. It's all on location, and we've had a great response to it. We have a really, really strong following of just amazing people, and we've gotten some great critical response. Last year, we won the Emmy, which was the first time a web series had done so. It was the first year they had a category for web series, so we're really pleased with it. It's been a ton of fun to shoot. Like any soap opera, it's full of drama and angst, and we can sort of, there are moments of things that are over the top, and there's lots of humor. And the nice thing about Venice series is that, unlike most soap operas, we get to play a little bit more. So even though we're on a tight schedule, we get to do some improv-ing. We get to just sort of riff and see what works, see if we can make it even better and add even further personality. So it's been good.
Now you're involved with the filming of a new movie called Raise.
Yes.
Can you tell me as much as you can without getting in trouble?
It's a fine line, isn't it? Raise started shooting earlier this month. We shoot until about the middle of July. It is starring Zoe Bell, who people know from all kinds of things. She's this amazing stunt woman and has gone on to be an actress in her own right. So you've seen her in Death Proof. I actually know Zoe because she was the stunt double for Lucy Lawless. So I've known her since I was 19 years old. And the way that the stunt scenes used to work, or that the fight scenes used to work, is that whenever they're doing your coverage, you're always fighting the other actor's stunt double. A, because it's faster. B, because there's less likelihood of injuries. And then also just because it's less exhausting on the actors wearing these crazy costumes and all that stuff. So it just is a better schedule. When I was first on Xena, I fought Lucy Lawless just all the time. I was the world's worst daughter who just wanted to kill her mom. So every day were all of these fight scenes, and I was always doing those with Zoe. So we became good friends. We've always stayed in touch. And she created this project. It started as a short film about a year ago, and she had contacted me about it. And then it turned into this amazing feature, and it has just an incredible collection of women in it. It also has one of my best friends, which, it's just a joy for me. It also includes Tracy Tom, who is a dear, dear friend of mine. I've known her since I was maybe 23. We did a series together called As If, and we've been friends since then. And she, of course, knows Zoe because they were in Death Proof together. So it's been this amazing reunion / incredibly fun shooting schedule. It's a very challenging schedule. They're shooting so quickly, especially because there's a lot of fight scenes. The tagline of the movie is Fight or Die. Mm-hmm. It's about a group of women who are kidnapped and forced to fight each other. It's all hand-to-hand combat. The stakes kind of couldn't be higher. It's a group of women who have had everything taken from them, and if they have a chance to get it back, it's only through winning these fights. It's lots of drama, it's lots of fight. It's kind of the best of everything because you get these amazingly choreographed fight scenes, just these really unique, incredible fights. But it's also, it has the backbone of having this really amazing drama behind it. So you're emotionally invested, but you're also rooting for different people and, sort of pulling at your heartstrings because you're rooting for multiple people, but there's only so many people that can survive. So yeah, that's kind of Raise in a nutshell. It also stars Doug Jones.
Oh, I love his face.
And he's amazing.
I love him so much.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. I've known Doug in a very vague sense. Certainly known of him for years, but we've crossed paths a couple of times, but we hadn't worked together until this project. And I just love him. He's so talented, and he's also just the nicest person. So showing up each day, it's like you're just hoping he'll be there because he just adds so much love to the day. So it's great. And it also includes Sherilyn Fenn, and she has also been just amazing. She's just really incredible to work with. And the two of them, she and Doug, have a lot of scenes together, and they work really, really well together. So, yeah, it's just a great group of people in this really high-stakes situation. And I'm really pleased with everything that we've been filming. I cannot wait to see the finished product. I have no idea about when it could come out and where it could come out and all that stuff. But they have a website at raisethemovie.com, and I'm sure that as soon as there's any more information, they'll start posting it.
Cool, and people can follow you for more updates, right?
Oh, absolutely. You can follow me at @yo_Adrienne W. You can also find me on Facebook. My website is just adriennewilkinson.com. So, yeah, you can follow me everywhere.
Thank you for calling in.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I've really enjoyed it.
You have fun filming the rest of Raise.
Oh, thanks.
Bye.